Great. A very, very warm welcome to everybody with us today. Good evening from DTLC. Today, we commence Season 6 of the DTLC program. Season 6, guys, we are flying. We started off in 2022 and we are still going strong. And now we are on Season 6. We don't promote a fad, but we build healthy lifestyles. So what is DTLC? The D stands for Diabesity Nutrition Center. That's the organization that offers the program. TLC is total lifestyle change. That's why we said it's not a fad. We are looking at all ways to build a healthy life. From the last season, we've been focusing on diabetes. And why diabetes? I'm sure you know somebody who's diabetic, or probably you've been diagnosed with diabetes, a friend, a family member. And to many people, once they hear about diabetes, it's a life sentence, but it doesn't have to be. Many are the stories told by people who have been on the program that they have been able to reverse their type 2 diabetes. Well, you will hear from the horse's mouth. So our participants today will be some of the ones who've been here before, but we also need to introduce you to our panelists so that you know who's going to be with us, who is chairing the program, who's taking charge, so that we have confidence in the program. So top of the list is Dr. Ojwang. Dr. Alice Ojwang is a nutritionist, a dietitian for the last, over 20 years. She's had quite a lot of success practicing and also training at the university, at Technical University. Dr. John, can we see you? Okay, I guess a bit of you on the side. Yes, we can. And okay, thank you, Dr. John. You will talk to us about the program and let us know what it's about. We also have Mildred Nyange. Mildred is a lecturer at the university, the Technical University, but she's also a nutritionist working on her PhD. So Mildred will be part of the team helping us to build these healthy lifestyles. We have Justus making everything work around us. Thank you very much, Justus, helping us with the technical stuff. The rest of the professionals will be unleashed as the program goes, and you'll get to meet all of them as they contribute to getting this healthy lifestyle. So it is diabetes that we're talking about. It is not a limitation, but a motivator to live a healthy and fulfilling life. How is that going to happen? We're going to have it in the program. So to start us off, to give us this kick, to let us know what is the program about, how do you benefit, what do you need to do, how has it gone for the last 6 seasons, is none other than Dr. Ojwang, who will take us through the session DTLC program. Welcome, Dr. Ojwang. Please unmute.
Yep. Thank you very much, Lorraine. I'm happy to be here again in Season 6. It's been very successful, but I wouldn't talk for myself. I will let others talk to themselves. But for now, you want me to talk about the program, right? What it's all about. Okay, wonderful. I think you almost took a sneak preview of my, can you see my slides?
It was fairly easy. Fields of rock soon made my life harder.
Lorraine?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay. Okay, so this is about the DTLC. So I've been introduced. I've been a dietitian for the last 24 years and still going strong. I believe in it. I have passion for it because I know it helps people. So the DTLC program is, the word TLC means total lifestyle change. And how I coined this word is because when I started practicing maybe in 2001, there's a cardiologist who always used to send me a referral note with the word TLC. And then I would, still I didn't know TLC, tender loving care. I thought like treat my patients with tender loving care. And then one day I told him, what does your TLC means? Because for me, it means something else. Then he says, yes, TLC, but total lifestyle change, you know. So in this program, we treat you with tender loving care, but it's actually a total lifestyle change. Like we know we have habits that are going to impact our health. And I'm going to give you a quiz to help you be able to answer these questions in later on. But this is, so now we're just introducing the program. What is it about? Like Lorraine already said, Diabesity is the name of the organization. The organization, it used to be called Zeni Health, but I changed it to Diabesity because my specialty is in obesity and diabetes. So anybody who is overweight is likely to become diabetes. And when you're diabetes, then you need to be able to lose weight to improve your, so it's related. So those are my specialty. Of course, I can talk about other nutrition issues, but I have specialized in that from master's to PhD. And so that is what diabesity means. So it is not to discriminate everybody. Lifestyle applies to everybody. Total lifestyle change is really for us to help you to change your lifestyle, because we know maybe from childhood or from adulthood, we've developed some work habits that affect our health. And so we want to identify this as we go. So then it's an online group wellness program. So we meet on Zoom. For this season, we are going to be meeting on Mondays at 8 p.m. This 8 p.m. was an outcome of the evaluation of the last few seasons that actually said this was the best time when mothers have put children to bed and husbands have come home and also helped to put children to bed. And now everybody is a bit relaxed. So because we want your total participation. So really the lifestyle change is over time. So 12 weeks that we are doing is actually to give you a head start of the program. But we provide support, we provide guidance, and we also learn from each other in the group, and you will see how. So how did I actually become so passionate about dietetics? Because I have realized in the past that taking drugs without eating properly is like washing your hands and drying them in the dirt. If you're hypertensive, if you have high cholesterol, if you're diabetic, if you have cancer, name the condition. If you don't eat properly, it's like washing your hands and literally drying them in the dirt, because food is thy medicine and thy medicine is thy food. So diet is very important. So, and really the goal of this project is to help us achieve dietary goals, fitness goals, and health goals, and really your lifestyle goals. So what is really the history of this program? I had my old company was called Zeni Health. And when Zeni Health was turning 10 years old in 2011, then I started what we call Kilo Watchers. So Kilo Watchers, I actually went with people in the field. We exercised every morning from 5 to 6:30, and then put them on a nutrition program, follow them up for 24 weeks, and it was completely successful. That went on from 20 to 2025. Then I left and then came back 2019. And then of course came COVID. So we moved it online because it was not possible to go to the field and meet people. Then of course, when we moved it online, I talked with a friend of mine in the UK who is Dr. Hiba, and that's the video you were watching before we started. And so we decided so we looked for funding and decided to do it as a research project to see if it's really successful. So in 2020, 2021, we were able to actually do a 24 weeks program in the UK with the Africans and Caribbean. And it was very, very successful. So it takes 12 weeks. In Kenya, we realized 24 weeks is too long, so it takes 12 weeks. And the challenge here is all of us, we engage in a context. We're all going to compete to reverse type 2 diabetes, reduce your cholesterol if you have high cholesterol, better control of your blood pressure. We've had one person who actually the doctor stopped them from taking medicine, and we work with the doctors. The doctors are part of the team. Better control of your diabetes. Not everybody can reverse diabetes, but can you have better control, take less medication, and so you have better glucose control? A lot of learning to do. And how about weight loss? Yes, help you to cut weight, whether you have these conditions or not. And better health and more. And of course, also, most people what we encourage you is to be able to apply these things to the family. So it's not a fad where we are going to tell you, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't do that. No, we take you through evidence-based education for you to be able to benefit from this program. So of course, at the end of it all, we need to be healthy, we need to feel good, we need to be to have, you know, fitness. And of course, when you're feeling good and you're healthy and you're fit, then it also supports your emotional health. So this is the challenge. So what topics do we really discuss? We have many topics. Remember, it's a 12-week. So it's not just 12-week topics. Some topics which we cannot discuss, we send short videos for you to hear. But we have maybe usually about 16 sessions that are discussed in 12 weeks. And so we have specific information. We have disease-specific information. So if you're diabetic, hypertensive, blood pressure, we will talk about these conditions. And then nutrition education sessions are many, from meal planning to having having an ideal meal, grocery shopping, how do you plan to buy meals, having your relationship with food, emotional eating, and many carbohydrate intelligence. And we have so many other nutritions, and also depends on the questions, but we have 6 that are aligned for you that helps you. Then we have topics on fitness and health, which includes your breathing, your oxygen levels, and your posture. Then circadian rhythm. How do your social networks affect your health? So far, this has become a topic that many people actually learn. Sexual health. For people who are married, you're diabetic, you're hypertensive, how do those medications affect you? Is it something you want to talk about? And sessions by demand. So usually we'll send out a questionnaire. You fill out what is your really condition and what are some of the sessions you really like. And so we can add some. We have already 24 sessions that are fixed. We don't do all of them, but 12 to 16 sessions in the 12-week program. The activities include nutrition and health education and also monitoring. And we have weekly challenges, we answer questions, and we send out nutrition information every week based on week by week what we are discussing. So for example, people need to send in their food pictures, and we use these food pictures to educate you. We'll be able to tell you whether you're eating healthy or not. We spend time together as a group to identify where you think the issues are. So like if you look at this picture, what can you see? People can pick out, oh, it's just one type of green vegetables. So then we make recommendations accordingly. And if you look at, so we look at different plates and different pictures. And so then we are able to make recommendations as a team. Then, yeah, so so one of the things you have to do is you have to post your pictures. So when we finish this program, we are going to start today's session. We are going to start a group. And for those who have made their payments already, we put you into a group. We will take you through this. So you take a food pictures and post it. And it's not for judging, it's only for educating and also for giving other people ideas. Something else that we monitor is our steps. So we download an app called Pesa, and with Pesa, we're able to see each other's steps. So you can see every day, we post the steps in the group, and this motivates people. So you can see sometimes like Christopher had 22,000 steps, sometimes he's at 10,000. People are always trying to. So the goal is for us to be able to do 10,000 steps every day. But some people are limited. Not everybody can do 10,000 steps. So when you start slowly at 2,000, 3,000, are you improving on your steps or are you stagnant? So we will help you do that. And of course, when it comes to fitness, we also do a fitness test, or we do it together as a team. And we hope that this session will be able to meet people. In the past, we've been trying to meet, but not able to meet, but we still get the work done. And we provide for you a lot of resources. In fact, it's actually quite a lot. So meal guide plans, food lists, carbohydrate information, tracking your food intake, fitness evaluation, and many others depending on the needs, short videos, and yes, lots and lots of data that you need that will support you with your lifestyle program over time. So in short, if you want to get something you have never gotten before, you've got to do something you've never done before. So this is a challenge to you all year in the program. Thank you very much, in short. Yeah. Over to you, Miss Lorraine.
Thank you very much, Dr. John.
Mhm.
That is your story. We believe you, but I think the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So it would be nicer to hear, did it really work? That's Dr. Ojwang says, this is what we do, this is what we've done for the last 5 seasons. But we've had people coming in the program, and it would be nice to hear what they have to say. I'd appreciate volunteers, but we've lined up a few to start the game so that the rest of the people joining us can see why it is important to invest in this DTLC program session, season 6. And to start us off, you see the gentleman who was leading in the steps, Chris Ngugi? Please tell us, how have you benefited, or how did you benefit by being part of the DTLC program?
Where's Chris? Yeah, I'm looking for him so I can put him on.
There he
Thank
is.
you. Thank you.
Welcome.
But I've just put my photo on, but I will, because of internet, I might hold a bit and bear with me if you hear some noise. My young guys are here with me and they want to see what Daddy is doing. Okay. So briefly, I have been told to share my story. I am a proud beneficiary of the DTLC program. I joined the program through, let me say, referral and social media. I was in a diabetic management group. Then I saw about DTLC program. And I must also say I am 47 years old. 2017, I was diagnosed with diabetes type 2 and hypertension. And just like many of us, when these conditions come, the first thing is to be started off with medication, and you start a routine of medications. You go to the hospital and the doctors will always refill your medication. You rarely get to get somebody who can really sit down with you and tell you, this is the condition that you are having. This is what causes the condition. This is what you can do to reverse it. In fact, at some point, you try to show the doctors, like, I can try to do away with the medication, and it is like, to them, this condition, you have it, nothing can be done. You take medicines and go home. So I joined the program, and I had my own goals. I had a target to lose weight because, okay, I was doing my own studies, trying to do my own research. What can I do? And some of these conditions, you don't have people to share with. You don't have maybe friends. The few experts that are there don't want to spend time with you. When I joined the program, I took my measurements. That time, my readings were not really that good. The sugar levels could go up, down. My weight was a bit, I was at 82 that time. But as we speak now, I have benefited in many ways. Allow me just to mention some ways. As Dr. Ojwang has said, massive information. Let me tell you, Kenyans, sometimes we suffer because you do not know. There is a lot to do with food that maybe you don't know. You have never been told that this is how you eat. This is how food affects you. This is how emotional eating affects you. Information relating to food, even the medicines that we get, doctors even never get time to tell us this is how you take the medicines, the information about the medicines, how our body operates. Surprisingly, when I joined this program, it was the first forum to hear that you can reverse your type 2 diabetes, and I am on that journey. I will be going for the 3 months tests, and I'm sure something positive will come up. So with the team of the experts that are here, the doctors, they gradually release massive information to us. They keep us on our toes. You said your food, they talk to you, they teach you, and through that, you find yourself going in a path that you thought you'd never go to. So as we speak today, I have better health. My weight now, last week I checked, I am at 74 now, from 82 to 74. That is massive to lose 80 kg. And I noted when my friend started telling me, Chris, tell us the secret. You had a tummy. Imeenda, kitabu kimeenda wapi? You are becoming slimmer. Which gym are you going to? Then I could feel like my trousers are, the sizes are going down. Some of the shirts I could put on now, and people are telling me, young man, you are looking very nice. And even at family, people are happy. In fact, I have become like the doctor. I tell them, don't remove this. You are taking too much starch. Even at place of work, you talk and people asking you like, hey, are you becoming a doctor nowadays? So I want to encourage you that with the help of the experts in this program, but on your side, what I have learned, for the program to work, you must be determined, have discipline on how you eat, commitment. You have seen there me making 22,000 steps. For you to make 22,000 steps, it is like you have agreed to walk. You have agreed to exercise. For the program to work, you check on your diet, you have to exercise, you have to take your medications well. And at this point, I would say, you are also consulting your doctors. Do not keep up the medicines until you are told now you reduce to this level. So I have better health. I have lost my weight. I'm feeling more stronger. I have a good shape now. And my target is to go down to 70 kgs. So I'm not giving up until I reverse these conditions, even if not both. Because sometimes I say if it is genetical, maybe you can reduce medications to the lowest level and live longer. And I want to enjoy my life to the fullest. So thank you very much to the program. Thank you, Dr. Juang and the team. Personally, I have benefited. I want to continue until I live well, until I see I am off medications. I'm able to control my health. Right now, I'm here happy. I know what to eat. I know how to eat. Okay, I know some of the things I used to read in books, intermittent fasting. I did not believe they can work, but now I have tasted, I have practiced, I know with the guidance of the experts, Dr. Juang leading the team, we can achieve it together and we can live better health, good health. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Chris. Keep the action, keep looking good. It has its great benefits, and we are seeing that. But maybe just one question, Chris. Are you still taking your medications? And if so, did they reduce during the program?
I am scheduled to go for my tests, but I am on the lowest level of medication because I take one med for hypertension and 2 tabs for diabetes. But when my sugars went, they have been a bit low. So, but I was afraid of living without my doctor's advice. But I'm feeling better now, and I know very soon my doctor will be very happy to even cut off some of those medicines.
Yes.
Well done, Chris, and thank you so much for sharing. It has worked. That's just one story from Chris. So it has worked for the gentleman in the room. Does it work for the ladies? So let's ask Grace Zulu, all the way from Zambia. What is your story? Miss Grace?
Yeah, they must back by 6.
Okay. Grace, can we hear from you? Okay. Let's give her, she was around, so let's hope it's just a technical hitch, but we shall get back to her. In the meantime, allow me to pick on you, Raphael. You are here for season 5, and you have promised to start season 6 again. Why?
I think I'm now addicted to the program. No, I have actually 2 reasons. And one reason is now being 55, it's quite some age. And I still suffer, or it's now getting much better from fatigue and kind of burnout symptoms. It's always been a bit with me. And this program actually helps me a lot to fight it. And you also need, I feel I need some kind of mentorship or some group behind, and it helps a lot. And it's been such a lovely group to help one to carry on fighting the challenge of fatigue. And the other reason is my wife. She had since about 1 year cancer. She's now cancer free. And the main reason or the main therapy is also a nutrition based or like a lifestyle change based. She's now on a whole plant based diet. And I want to learn more about it, generally about diets and about lifestyle changes. And this is the best program at the moment that one can get hold of. And if you are part of it, you can be privileged. So thank you so much.
So we welcome you to season 6.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, great. So those are two gentlemen, and Raphael confirms that even his wife is benefiting by proxy, by him being on the program. So thank you very much, Raphael. I see Grace is back. I really want to hear her story. The lady in the room, tell us, how has it worked for you? Was it worth being on DTLC? Uh-oh. We can't hear you, Grace.
Sorry. Network issues, eh?
She'll try again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe as we wait for Grace's story, who else? I see a few people who've been here before, and I know Grace has a prepared speech, but for anybody else, I saw Janet Ocheng. I'm seeing, I think that's Brenda coming in. Would anyone want to tell us as we wait for Grace to talk to us about how they benefited from being on the program? I'm picking on Janet Ocheng. She's also not talking. Brenda, can I ask you to tell us how have you benefited from the program?
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you.
It's good to see wonderful faces and familiar faces again.
Show us your face also.
Today I will pass.
Okay.
Yes, so I joined the DTLC the last season, and the program was quite transformative, I must say, in terms of my health. In terms of my weight, I was able at least to reduce from, I think I was around, I'd kicked in 92, around 92 kgs. So I went down up to 85. So that was something tremendous for me. And for a long time, I think I was battling with a lot of fatigue, exhaustion, low energy. So the also greatest milestone that I was able to do was even to do the 21-kilometer Stanchart marathon last year. So just because of constantly being active, constantly putting in the steps, constantly listening to what the instructors are letting us know, it kind of built up on my overall health. So to me, the impact was quite positive that I said I have to join in again on this season. I want it to be a lifestyle completely. I don't want to be in and out. I don't want it to be a craze where I'm just doing it for a while and not being consistent. So I really want to continue with it. So thank you so much for this platform. And I hope it will also benefit the new guests that we have.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brenda. I
And
hope we're
Brenda
seeing you
is
on
joining us again. She says she wants to do it again. She did season 3. Now she's joining season 6.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yes.
Another marathon, Brenda? Let's set that target.
Okay, Grace
I hope
is here.
so.
Brenda, next season. Okay, let's do this. Grace, shall we try again? We still can't hear you.
Can you check your computer? Maybe you muted, the volume is very low, perhaps.
Okay, as Grace works on her computer, let us get questions at
I'm
least. Let's
sorry,
hear what-
Grace. Grace, I'm sorry. You can just type it for us to see. And I know you really wanted to share with us. Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, technologies can fail us, can fail the best of us. We do apologize.
All right.
Yeah.
The question, as we wait to hear from Grace and hear from somebody else. Any questions from the floor? Any questions from the floor? Nothing yet? Okay, we'll wait and hear from Grace. We'll wait and hear from Grace as she sorts herself out. Okay. Volunteers? Going one? Going two? Okay, it seems it's good. There are two questions, and I think the first person I saw was George Owiti. Yes, George, what would you like to find out about the DTLC program?
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to know how do I stand to benefit if right now I don't suffer from diabetes. Is there a way I can go through the program and stand to gain in the event that
You're not diabetic.
I'm not looking forward to getting diabetes, but I mean, can I give you my details so that we do like a
assessment?
Assessment, or you forewarn me of any dangers that could be,
Dr. John, you want to speak to that?
Yes, we'll do an assessment when we're doing the challenge, following the program. But there's one of the participants from Ghana who couldn't join, and this is what he said. Talking about the program, it looks like people show interest in dietary and lifestyle changes only when they become ill. And so he's finding it difficult to convince people to join the program, even though he completely stopped taking almost like 15 types of med after joining the program. So my advice would be, don't wait for the illness to start. So join the program and change your lifestyle now, because there are things that we do. I'll give you an example. If we take very little food in the morning, we eat a large meal at night, that's always the beginning of a big problem. You don't exercise, you're tired and fatigued, you have constipation, you don't drink water, all those things affect your health in the long run. So let's not wait to be sick. And of course, as a dietitian, having practiced for the last 20 years, this is a problem. People come when they're sick, but I don't want that. I want us to help you before you get sick. So if you want to, 10 years from now, what do you want? Do you want better health, or do you want to be managing a chronic condition? If you want better health, then we get started now by eating healthy and learning some of this lifestyle changes that you need to make. Thank you. Yes, very good question, George. Very good question.
Okay, George, I hope the answer is clear. There's a second participant with their hands up, but I can't see that now. I don't know if Mildred, can you see? Okay.
There's Charles and Joki Awiti, yeah.
Okay, Charles.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thanks for the opportunity to join DTLC 6. So I wanted to ask if it's possible to hear about how one can make a lifestyle change if you're dealing with PCOS or pre-diabetes. Thank you. Or is it too early to ask? I don't know.
Well, Lorraine, were you going to say something?
No, I was waiting for you to speak. That was to the doctor.
Yeah, I think you just maybe, did you hear about Chris, what he did? But you know what happens is everybody eats. We all eat. Why do we eat? For energy, bodybuilding, and everybody eats, from the richest person in the world to the street person. We all eat. But actually, food is the biggest risk factor for all medical conditions. And of course, just talking about the natural doctors. Let's talk about natural doctors. Natural doctors includes like getting sunshine. But what happens nowadays, people don't get sunshine. You wake up at 5, you go to the office at 6, you stay there the whole day and you leave. That affects your health. How about water? Some people don't drink water. We don't sleep well. All these things affect our lifestyle, all these are lifestyle that affect our health. So, so over the years, I've realized that a diabetic person is not different from somebody who is hypertensive, has cholesterol, or somebody who's feeling tired and fatigued. You make the same mistakes, but somebody else gets diabetes and somebody else gets fatigue, but maybe in a short while, they're going to be getting some of these conditions. So yes, so it's too early to give you the full answer. So you get into the program and you learn what needs to go. So today is really an introduction session. I don't know if you found my presentation. We take you through lots of nutrition education sessions. We take you through fitness. We take you through circadian rhythm. We take you through social networks. We help you and work with you together with a big team of experts to help you achieve your goal. Yes. And it makes a difference for everybody. And to be honest, there's nobody who's going to sit there and do nothing, because you will be seeing people making 10,000 steps. You just have to gonna work and raise your steps from 0 to at least 2,000, and then from 2,000 to 4,000. If you're always posting pictures of very not unhealthy meals, then you will start to look at, oh, there's somebody who's eating more vegetables in their plate. So it's a group wellness program, and studies have shown that group wellness, the support that is provided, actually impacts your psychology, impacts your health, because you have a team that is holding your hand. And so that's why it's more successful. And that's why I actually stopped dealing with individuals, and now I deal with groups. Thank you.
So you shall benefit, Jockey. You shall. And okay, it's unfortunate that we couldn't get Grace's story, for she telling us herself, because she's one of the people who suffered from the same condition. So we can hook you up and you talk. However, she's putting her story on the chat, and Mildred can take us through that, through what Grace is saying, so that we hear her story and then see how she benefited. And I'm sure you'll get your answer from there, Jockey.
Lorraine, she also wanted to call me on WhatsApp so that she can
say it herself. So what works?
Can we do that? Let me see. Let's call.
Let's try. If not, we have the backup with Mildred.
Okay. I hear people are having challenges joining, so yes. Grace, can you go ahead and tell me, Lorraine, if you can hear? I can put my volume full blast.
Okay, let's try.
Okay, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Grace.
Okay, you're able to hear me? I can proceed?
Yes, please.
All right, so I'm so glad I'm able to share, because for me, I think that if somebody else can be in my position, the position that I am in now compared to where I was when I started this journey, I think that's the little role that I can play to help would be great. And also to say that, of course, the program was extremely helpful in getting me to where I am today. It's a journey. So I can start by saying that I had tried. I think when I walked into Dr. Ojwang's office that day, I was telling her I had tried everything. And I was so glad that she opened up my mind to, through this program, to things that I wasn't fully aware of. So when I walked into her office at that point, I had been diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and I'd had it for about a year at that point. And I had symptoms despite the medication that I was taking. So I'm on levothyroxine daily. At its worst point, the thyroid affected all sorts of things. I had chronic insomnia. I had difficulties, on my menstrual period side that were very heavy and very long and very erratic, and a lot of pain. I had migraines that were recurring. I had managed, no matter what I tried to do. Everything was all over the place. The first thing I did, of course, was start taking the medication. But after about a year of taking it, I still had a lot of challenges. And to put you into perspective, the day that I was supposed to meet Dr. Ojwang for my first appointment, I couldn't even physically get out of bed because I was feeling so unwell. Fast forward, I joined DTLC 2 and started the program. And I learned a number of things, and I've been putting some of them here. The first thing that I did is just unpack everything I understood about food. I think some of the fundamental things I learned were, that we have different attachments that we give towards food, emotional eating. I think there was a very good session that we went on about that. And I realized I attached certain things to food that gave me habits that I needed to change. And those are things that I've stuck to today. Remembering that just because I'm at a movie doesn't mean I have to buy popcorn and get a slushie. Or just because I'm it's my birthday doesn't mean I have to have the largest piece of cake. But the other thing I learned that was very empowering was not to be on a diet, to start a journey of a lifestyle change that I could manage and adapt through my life. And I'm very glad to say that, almost 2 years down the line, I've got a year and 6 months, ideally, down the line, I have learned to be at peace with my eating habits. When it came to the actual symptoms from the hypothyroidism, despite taking, like I said, taking levothyroxine, and I still take it today, I still had these other symptoms. Insomnia was still quite bad. And I just learned that, not taking animal protein after 5 p.m. would help correct insomnia. And I'm really happy to say that not only have I corrected the insomnia, but I'm back to my circadian rhythm. In short, my body now wakes me up on time. Whereas I had a very long period of sluggish and very tired feelings early in the morning. Now, with no change that, medical change at least, I'm able to have normal sleeping patterns. And I can see when I drift away from that, if I have a meal in the evening, I can actually even feel the effects to my sleep and to my rest. I also had a significant reduction in inflammation. So in terms of my body, it almost felt like a fever sometimes, but you could also visibly see the puffiness in my face and in my hands. And I started to see that puffiness come down significantly. I had wanted, and I'm still, looking forward to a big change in weight. And I've seen, don't get me wrong, I have lost weight and I've continued to lose it. As we stand, I think I've lost about 15 kilos since that time, which is remarkable because I could not even lose a single kilo before that. So if you look at the before and the after pictures, you can visibly see that I've been now on the slow downward trajectory to weight loss. And I celebrate that. On top of that, I try and balance out my vitamins. So learning to eat all the colors of the rainbow. The little things that, the program teaches you that give you these tools for survival. And that's what I think I've enjoyed about DTLC, is that I'm not sitting with a checklist of items the way I did with every other, advice I got on from a nutrition point of view. I now say, okay, beans is a carbohydrate, just like rice is a carbohydrate, just like mili meal, which is for ugali, is a carbohydrate. So I'm not going to pair them together because I'm increasing my carbs for that meal. And so that smart choice that you make when you eat, very helpful to me. I'm able to now, we had a session where we were like, get your measuring cup so that you're able to measure your carbohydrates. And we did an exercise on, your metabolic, what is it called? I forget the terminology. But, if I realized how much I needed to eat, that was good for me in terms of my carbs and, the balance that I needed for my plate. And I have stuck to that. So from a lifestyle point of view, I have a number of these changes. Oh, and let me not even forget drinking water and the 7 lifestyle habits, those things, and keeping them in balance. All I can say to all of you is this, is that, gosh, sometimes when you fall ill, it just feels like a sentence, and when you go into these groups, you talk to people that have similar conditions from you, it just almost looks as though everybody is struggling, and maybe there's nothing that you can do out there that can really help you, that you can manage with your lifestyle. I have a busy lifestyle also. So, but I did find that DTLC helped me with that. Habit forming in terms of exercise, maybe to be quick, the exercises we're doing when we're counting our steps. No, I mean, I wasn't the top stepper on the group at the time. But what I've done is I've remembered to keep that going. And I did share with the group at the time that what I did is choose something that worked for me, which is what I enjoyed about how we learned about exercising, is that choose something that works for you. So I've continued to do these. They're virtual challenges that you do. You set your own exercise. You can combine it as steps during the day or any other exercise. But you actually work towards a goal, similar to marathon runners. You're given a minimum target and a medal that you can get. And I managed last year to complete a challenge that was 352 kilometers, and I managed to clear that challenge within a period of 7 weeks, which was, for me, that was huge. I was very happy to get my medal at the end of the day, but it also just proved to me that I can break my own boundaries when it comes to, working on my lifestyle. I'm still very sure that I'm on a journey. It's a long journey, but I'm very happy that I feel more in control now. And gosh, if I'd been able to share my screen, I'd have been able to show you some before and after pictures where you'd be able to see quite clearly that I managed to lose the weight. Gosh, I think I was telling Dr. John that I thought that was impossible to do. And I know that it wasn't a central goal, but that for me has been a huge win to see that start to happen. So that's my story. To the lady who was asking about, the lady who was asking about PCOS, I'm going to tell you, similar to the gentleman who was sharing on diabetes, lifestyle has a significant role to play. And hand in hand with medicine, I think these two things you can get yourself to a normal life. And that's what I'd like to encourage you to do. Just throw yourself into this, open your mind to it. And I'll tell you what, we can exchange notes after a few months to see how it's going for you. I would, more or less tell you that if you follow it, you're going to see the results. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you very much for sharing your journey. Yeah. I'd like to say something about Grace's experience. So Grace, when you're told you have hypothyroidism, it means it's almost like a death sentence, like you're never going to lose weight. And this is what people have known for a long time. But having worked in helping people lose weight, yes, you can actually lose weight. And of course, PCOS, which means polycystic ovarian syndrome, obesity or being overweight, and diabetes, they have this one thing in common. It's everything to do with insulin resistance, which is actually very, very impacted by your lifestyle, and not just lifestyle. You'll find that there are so many things that affect your lifestyle. So in a short while, we're going to just have a little quiz, or we're going to identify some of this lifestyle so that we can go forward. So thank you, Grace, for sharing. Thank you very much. Over to you, Miss Lorraine.
Okay. We have one more story. And that is a diabetic lady this time. So let's have Stacy. Please tell us how it went, how it's going.
Stacy here.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity for sharing. I was in DTLC 5, the recently concluded one. And guys, this is the place to be. Let me just tell you. Because when I joined DTLC, I'd totally lost hope. My blood sugars were 20.1 and above. I mean, I was talking double-digit figures, and I was so discouraged. It's through this program that I actually understood that my initial diagnosis of being a type 2 was actually not correct. I was actually a type 1. And this program was able to help me just deal with that and just maneuver the sugars to a point where I'm actually now able to manage them. In fact, the medication has been reduced to a point where I feel like I'm actually going to go to the minimum dosage that is required. I'm actually just 46 years old. I just turned 46. And my body was feeling like I was in my 80s. Yeah. So thanks to DTLC, I'm feeling energetic. The one thing that I can really vouch for this program is it has helped me keep moving. I would be a couch potato. I never used to move, but I've been able to do at least 17,000 steps. I've been able to, on a daily basis, maybe I would do 7,000 on average until when I got a bit of a problem with my leg. But the exercise has definitely increased as a result of DTLC and what we have learned. We've also been taught about nutrition, carbohydrate intelligence. I'm that person who used to eat beans and rice, or beans and chapati. And, I'm wondering, why is my sugar spiking? I've just eaten the basics, or maybe eat a lot of broccoli and just thinking that it was veg. But through this program, I've been able to learn the things that we thought were not carbohydrate actually carry a lot of carbs. So the likes of lentils, the cauliflower and broccoli, and not combining foods in a certain way. So that I think for me, that lesson really helped me. I've been able to achieve better nutrition as a result. When I started this program, I was at almost 98 kilos. Right now, I'm speaking, I'm at 88.5. So about 10 kilos down. And this is just because of that discipline of eating right and then exercising. And there's no stress of you have to eat or omit certain things. You just live a normal life. I've done keto, I've done fat loss lab, I've done all the diets you can mention, and it was never sustainable. This one, in fact, I'm seeing my weight go down without even a struggle. So DTLC has really helped me in that sense. So I put in more steps. When my leg is well, I've been doing above 10,000, which has really been awesome. And I feel like my brain is also freed. Before I would just feel some crazy brain fog, and I'm wondering, I just feel tired, I feel depressed, but the movement has really helped, right?
Yes.
I think another thing that I can say is that my blood sugar control, became better. As I said, I was at 20.1, those crazy sugars, and I'm calling Dr. Alice and I'm like, my sugars. So this program has actually given me the discipline to be able to measure my sugar consistently and be my own doctor in a sense, because before it, I never used to really measure my sugar, and I would say, I'll go and see the doctor after 6 months. But by that time, a lot has gone wrong. My HbA1c would be so crazy. But right now, my sugar is going around about 7.5 to 3.5. So the 3.5 actually now, the sugar was now going low because I was really, really managing it well. So I really thank God that I came across this program, and it has helped me to do more than one thing. The other thing I want to really, really point out, I never knew about the continuous glucose monitoring. I'm one person who's scared of injections. I'm very scared of pricks, but I learned about the CGM, and it's a system that helps you monitor your sugar automatically. So you put a patch on your hand, and it does its magic. And you're able to see at any one point, where your sugars are at. That is really critical for diabetics, because if you don't know where your sugar is, then you can even go comatose and you didn't even know. So that has really, through this program, I got to understand that there's that kind of a monitor, and I've actually ordered for one. So I'm happy that I'm gonna get off the pricks and be able to monitor my sugar and know what to eat, what not to eat, and at what time to eat. I've learned a ton. I mean, I learned about intermittent fasting, and I've been able to not eat all the time, select certain windows that I'll eat anything and be okay. Other than before I would eat, constantly. And I'm wondering, why is my sugar spiking? But through this program, I've learned about IF and how to do it safely. So I'd really tell you guys, you're in the right place. Besides that, I think my foot care, I learned about foot care, how to take care of my feet. I'd go for pedicures and I'm not really careful about that. But nowadays, when I do go for it, I make sure they're not using sharp things, they're not cutting too deep. They're just being careful. That is something that I never knew before this program. And then finally, I think the support group or the support system I've received. When I look at the charts of our walks, I feel like I'm around people because you're really challenged. Like today, I haven't walked, and so I have to put in, even if it's 1,000 steps, I make sure that I put in the 1,000 steps. So it's quite a good program that brings you together with community. As a diabetic, you tend to feel like you're alone and you want to give up. And guys are like, you're so young, why are you diabetic? But in this program, I've been able to meet people who also are diabetic of different walks of life, different ages, different races. And it's just so beautiful to know that you have people that are like you and can walk with you. And maybe just finally, what I've learned in this is that diabetes management is not a destination, it's actually a journey. So we are on this journey and the mindset has to be positive. It's a long journey. Just keep going one day at a time. Don't feel under pressure. You have people who love you. We have experts on this team who really, really helped us. People would have to pay a lot of money to go and see them if it was in a different setting. But because we're here, we have the privilege of drawing from that expertise at a very reasonable cost. So yeah, kudos to the DTLC team. I just want to thank everybody for support, and I want to thank the people that we were with in DTLC 5. They really did make a difference in my life. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much, Stacey. I think that was a good story, wasn't it? Good.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's not just Dr. Ojwang's story. It is our story. We've had people who have had various kinds of illnesses or just, maybe a wrong lifestyle, and they've been able to correct it through the program. So that is what we offer at DTLC, not a fad, but a total lifestyle change. Dr. Ojwang, you wanted to tell us something? You have a quiz for us? You want us to do something?
Yes, I have a quiz. And I just want people to score what their life's challenges are. So I hope you have a pen and paper, and I need you to score this quiz. So just, I'll give you a second to remove your pen and paper. So it comes from these abbreviations. So we're just going to write it down. It's called FREEZE. FREESE. But so number one, we want to identify what are some of your toxic habits. What are some toxic habits that actually you know, most of us know? Let's say number one, do you sleep do you sleep 6 hours or less? Then give yourself a score of 2. If you sleep 7 hours, you can give yourself 1. If you sleep 8 hours, give yourself 0. Okay? Are we clear? Quiz number 1. Do you sleep 6 hours or less? Give yourself 2 marks. If you sleep 7 hours, give yourself 1 mark. If you sleep 8 hours, give yourself 8.
0.
Sorry, give yourself 0 points. Thank you. Number 2, you eat your largest meal at night. If this is true, then give yourself 2 marks. If it is occasionally you do that, give yourself 1 mark. If you do not eat a large meal at night, give yourself 0 mark. Are we clear? Question 3. I exercise regularly. And regularly means you're doing something like 3 times a week or more. If you exercise regularly, then you give yourself 2 marks. If you exercise occasionally, maybe once a week, 1 mark. If you do not exercise at all or have any plan, oh, that's when you give yourself 2. I'm sorry, I'm confusing you. Let me go back to this. If you exercise regularly, give yourself 0 mark. If occasionally, you give yourself 1 mark. If you do not exercise at all, give yourself 2 marks. Question 4 is about food. I eat my meals and I add salt before I taste it. So the question is, do you add salt even before you taste your food? Give yourself 2 marks. If you occasionally add salt to your food, you can give yourself 1. If you do not add salt to your food, give yourself 0 mark. Okay, I hope you're keeping together. Question 5 is about your breakfast. My smallest meal is breakfast. Some people wake up and take a cup of tea and go, or 1 cup of tea, 2 slices and go. So if your smallest meal is breakfast, then give yourself 2 marks. If it's occasionally you eat a small meal for breakfast, 1 mark. If your largest meal is breakfast, give yourself 0 mark. Question 5, I take soft drinks, and these are sugar-added drinks, daily. Either you take soda every day, or you take juices, these packeted juices, every day. If you do that, give yourself 2 marks. If occasionally you take these juices, give yourself 1 mark. If you do not take sweets, all these juices and sodas, give yourself 0 mark. That was question 6, by the way. Question 7, you take alcohol, a beer or a whiskey every day, daily. Give yourself 2 marks. If you take it occasionally, give yourself 1 mark. If you do not take alcohol or take it rarely and only on special occasions, give yourself 0 mark. We are getting closer to the end of our question. Question 8, I go out in the sun intentionally, daily or up to 3 times a week. Give yourself 0 marks. Occasionally, I take time to go out in the sun, 1 mark. I do not see the sun. I do not see the sun, 2 marks. Question 9, and this is for married people, so we'll discriminate. I have low sexual libido, or I have poor sexual health. Let's just say that. No urge, no nothing, or completely tired and fatigued anytime. If that is the case, give yourself 2 marks. If it's occasional, give yourself 1 mark. If yes, your sexual health is good, your libido is fine, you're okay, give yourself 0 mark. And last but not least is that a question? Sorry. Last but not least is question number 10. And question number 10 is to do with your stress levels. Are you stressed and that is causing you a lot of emotional distress? Give yourself 2 marks. Yes, I'm stressed, but I'm getting help. Give yourself 1 mark. And no, I'm not really stressed. I'm okay. There's nothing causing me emotional distress. Give yourself 0 mark. So we've had 10 questions. So please write your scores, add your scores up and put it in the chat. So what do you have? 10 marks. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. 7. Somebody's just laughing. Yeah, 5. I want to see more of these scores. Please carry on. 8. Yeah. 10. I think, yeah, 1. Well done. Okay. Yeah. So I can see the quizzes and what everybody has scored. So you're not supposed to score anything. You're actually supposed to get 0. And if you score, the higher you score, if you score anything from 5, that's bad. It means we have some habits that are eventually going to cause us problems. So you need to make sure that your score is usually 2 or 1. At least we have to be realistic. There's always going to be some kind of stress, or you're going to have some habits, but most of them, no. So really, if you get all this, then it means that we need to change our lifestyle. And so I'll give you a little bit of a solution to this. So yes, somebody's sending me a private message. So what does my score mean? 9. 9 is high, my darling. Anytime you score above 5, it's high. You're supposed to score less than 5. So if you score above 5, 9, 10, somebody saying, I have scored so high, I cannot even put it in the group. Don't worry. This is why you need this lifestyle program. So thank you for sharing your scores. All right. Thank you. Okay. So let me give you a solution. I know some people are not going to join the program. So let me give you some tips that you can start working with. So write the letter freeze, FREES. So number 1, what you need to do really, and for those who are joining the program, also pay attention, is we need to be free of toxins. We need to be free of toxins, and we need to be free of toxic habits. And so what you want to do, you need to identify your toxic habits. We have identified 10 of those habits that are toxic to your health. So you need to identify these habits and you need to work on them. The truth is this, everybody knows what they need to do. We all know exactly what we need to do. But sometimes you need a push, you need a professional to help you, and you need a group to help you, hence the DTLC program. Letter number 2 is R, which means rehydration. So we all know every second of your life, your body needs water. So you're supposed to take about 8 glasses. But what does 8 glasses literally mean? So ideally, that is what somebody says. Glasses are different. But if you want to know how much fluid you need to take or water, you need to take 35 ml per kg body weight for those who actually exercise regularly. So if you're 100 kilos times 35 ml, it means you need to take 3.5 liters of water in a day, and not 8 glasses or 2 liters that everybody says. And if you're not athletic, you can take 30 ml times your weight. So if you're 80 kilos, you need to take 2.4 liters. If you're taking any medication, you need to add 250 ml on top of that, another glass. If you're seated in a room that's air conditioned, you have light and you have air conditioning all day, you need to add another 500 ml of water. So go on, calculate your water intake. The third letter is E, meaning eat healthy. So what does it mean to eat healthy? Just the tips we'll give you today is 1, you need to eat more food in the morning and less food in the evening. Let's reason logically. You wake up in the morning, you need more energy, you're going to work. In the evening, you're going to sleep. You don't need energy. So please, please, people, do not take a lot of food at night. Stop eating your large meal at night. Save it for your breakfast. The second E, and of course, apart from that, eat as natural as possible. I like to say this, when I was young, whenever I was traveling, my grandma always used to say, those people are going to travel with things made by human hand. They are imperfect, and so they don't do good things. And, you can get an accident. That is what now I'm telling you when it comes to food. Anything man has made, taken from nature and processed, is not good for you, my friend. So learn to eat as natural as possible. If you want to know more, you got to join the program. The third E is you need to get enough rest. So at the end of the day, you actually need to sleep for 8 hours. Most people say 8 hours is for children. No, you need to learn to sleep 8 hours. And if you have bad sleeping habits, you actually, as you get older, the number of hours you sleep reduces, and that's very dangerous. So you can be really healthy, you exercise regularly, you eat healthy, and you sleep 4 hours, one day you're going to drop dead. Have you heard of those people who just drop dead and everybody's like, but they run marathons, but they eat healthy, but they're getting enough sleep? Studies have shown that that is a serious factor. So remember, it's just natural medicine. Go to sleep. You need to sleep. And then the first S is sexual health. So if you have poor sexual health, low libido, there's no urge. Sex is a natural doctor. You're married, you're supposed to fulfill each other. When that is a problem, then you need to see it's a warning that you have serious health problem waiting to happen, especially when you have these chronic conditions, hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, PCOS, and all those things. So don't ignore signs. It's the same thing. If you're always having constipation, then we have a problem. We have a digestive health problem. If you're always having acidity, so listen to the warnings. The body always wants you. And the second S is stress. If you have stress, we need to manage stress. So don't sit there and cry away because you can run mad. I have a friend who is in mental health. I think she joined us. Mental health is a big problem. At least right now, people are talking more about it and there's help available. So please, when you have stress, you have to manage. It affects your health. Let me just tell you, I work a lot with diabetic persons. Somebody is stressed. They don't even have to tell me. We just look at their sugars and we know they are stressed. And the funny thing is your stress hormones are released like in the morning, 3 a.m. So this diabetic person will always wake up with very high sugars of 10, 15, always very high fasting blood sugar. Those are signs of stress. So please, it's okay to talk to a therapist. So please get help. And last but not least, if you're not enjoying a good lifestyle program, if you're doing something for your health and you're struggling, you're spending a lot of money, then you're not enjoying yourself. You need to enjoy yourself. A good lifestyle program, anything you're doing should be able to reduce your medical bills. You should be able to be feeling energized. You should be feeling motivated and supported. So thank you very much. That is my tip for today. And for the challenge for the week for everybody and the ones joining the program is really identify your toxic lifestyle habits. That's number one. Number two, what are your health goals? Because for next session, which is next week on Monday, we are now going to talk about, what is your why? We really need to go deep into your goals and why you want them. So start thinking along those lines. Of course, we are going to meet you on the WhatsApp group, and we are going to help you download the applications that we need to use, and we are going to provide more information so that by the time the week is over, you are set and ready for this 12-week program. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ms. Lorraine.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wasn't that interesting? Wasn't that enlightening? Imagine that's what happens at DTLC. There's so much to learn here. That was just one tip. Did we hear all the E's? I think I missed one E, Alice. The E before the S.
The E before the F.
The S. The last E before two S's. What was that? After enough rest?
Would you like me to repeat it?
Just that last E before the S.
The last E before the S is enough rest. So we have the first one is F, free of toxins and toxic habits. Also toxins, you take so much alcohol, you take so much salt, you take so much sugar, you take so much, what is it that you take too much? Then R is rehydration. The first E is eating healthy. The second E is exercise. Did I talk about exercise? I think I must have missed it. Yes, I know. That's the one I missed. So yes, the first E is eating healthy. The second E is exercise. So exercise, it just means if you can't make time for exercise, be ready to make time for illness. So exercise, make time to exercise so that you're not going to make time for illness. Then enough rest, sexual health, stress, and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you for going through that again. Yes. So this is what happens here, guys. Every Monday we have an interesting session. We learn how to live healthy lives, a total lifestyle change program. But there's a consideration or an investment. So Mildred, please tell us, what do you have to pay to enjoy these tips on good health and lifestyle?
Right, thank you so much, Lorraine. So just to start us off, we've had we've been talked to the whole time. Now it's been 1 hour. But what investment are you getting? Why are you investing? We are calling it an investment. And most of us, or Kenyans, we know an investment is something like buying a house, investing in stocks, bonds, shares, making sure our kids go to good schools. But we forget that there's one important thing. There's one important asset, and that is our health. And I'd like to start by a quote: health isn't expensive. It is priceless. It is priceless. Whatever we are going to charge you here is incomparable to what you're going to benefit at the end of the day. The benefits are going to surpass these 30,000 Kenyan shillings that you're going to pay, right? So what are you investing in? What will your investment be? At the end of the day, at the end of the 12 weeks, you'll have lifelong and life-saving benefits. If you're already diabetic, if you're not diabetic, we all know that we are one diagnosis away, especially if you're already 40, 35, 50, 60, and you're not diagnosed already. We're just one diagnosis away because of our unhealthy eating habits and unhealthy lifestyles. If you're diabetic and you get into this program and you follow the rules, follow every tip that you're being told, at the end of the day, you might not get blind at the end of the day. Loss of livelihood. If you get blind, you will not work anymore. You can get accidents if you don't control your sugars. You can easily fall on the stairs, go hypo, go hyper. You're driving, get an accident, and it becomes really catastrophic. Your quality of life will be improved. You'll be interacting with the top professionals, top nutritionists, endocrinologists, diabetes specialists, podiatrists, among others. The list is endless. Again, saving time on the long queues when you go to hospital admissions, when your sugars are high, very low, you have to get those sick offs from work. We'll be networking. Like we've had, you network, we exercise together, we motivate each other, there's a WhatsApp group, and eventually you will get your value for money. We are paying only 30,000 Kenyan shillings for the 12 weeks. That is how much per week, and we only have one session per week. The one session, if you divide that, it's 2,500 per week, and you can't compare that to any other. It's actually a discount. Consultants charge more right now. We know them, you know them, you've seen them, right? And again, you will be getting 24-hour support during the week. Anytime you ask a question, you will be answered. There'll be individual consultations. Pick your phone, call Dr. Alice. Pick your phone, call the doctors in the house, Dr. Nyawera, call me, call all of us, and we will always be there 24 hours to help you. And at the end of the day, again, you will save money, especially on purchasing of drugs. Right now, an example of Triviamet, it has shot up to 90 shillings. If you're taking 2 per day, and that is plus other drugs, you're diabetic, you're hypertensive, and you have also other health conditions, or it's you and your husband, or it's you, your husband, your parent. If you enroll them, at the end of the day, you will save money because they will reduce their medication. It will also even reduce insurance coverage. If you're trying to get your own insurance coverage or to get for your parents, it will be reduced. And just to end, live healthy is to be wealthy. And just to go back to the amounts, there's 25,000 for those who pay early, the early birds, and the early bird is ending today. So if you don't pay by the end of today, tomorrow you will be charged 30,000. And you can also pay in installments. But if you pay in installments, remember that you will not get the early bird package. You will have to pay 30,000 at the end of the 12 weeks if you want to pay in installments. So yeah, that is just it. We cannot say anymore. So join and let's get going for the next 12 weeks. And for sure, you will see the benefits.
Thank you. That's just it. But Mildred, I have a question. If I am not Kenyan, what is 30,000? I can't work out that amount. Tell me.
Well, we will. Oh, that's how much now? I need to convert. If the dollar right now is 100, around 140.
Dr. John, did you do the math before?
30,000, yeah.
Yeah, it will be $250 and they can pay via PayPal.
$250 payable by PayPal. Okay.
PayPal.
Yeah, you know, we are international, eh? So
yeah, we are. We have Germany here. We have Canada in the room. We have
Canada,
Zambia in the room.
Yeah. Zambia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think, Mildred, the next time you will quote the prices in dollars because it's an international group. Eh?
Actually.
Yes, so thank you. But thank you very much. As Mildred says, it's worth the investment. You can't, one doctor's appointment is more than 2,500 Kenya shillings, but $25, let's say, yeah? So think about it, make the investment. It is, as you heard from the other speakers, it is definitely worth it. Steve Jobs once said, if you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. So let your vision, which we shall learn next week about your why. So as we go down to understand what the vision is, let the vision pull you. And you stop working, you make it, it will work for you, or you'll make sure you get to that dream. So we had a challenge. Do I remember it, Dr. Zhuang? What did you say for all of us, whether we're on the program or not?
The challenge is to identify your toxic habits. Identify your toxic habits, identify your toxins. And then, yeah, write down your goals. What do you want to achieve? You know, yeah.
So identify your toxic habits or your toxins, and then clearly define your health goals. But the session next week will help us to understand our why. The goals will just be goals, but when we crystallize it, like the program will help us do, then it will get to a clear way forward. We only want to work on the how once the why is clear.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Mildred talked about the panelists that you're going to have, that if you had to pay, you would be paying a pretty penny. So let me just say who they are. Other than Dr. Ojwang, the dietitian, the local dietitian, we have the local doctor, and that is Dr. Nyawera. Dr. Nyawera is our GP. She specializes in diabetes. So she's part of the panel. She's always there. She's a resident doctor, so she answers the medical questions. We have Dr. Hiba Osei, who's our guest nutritionist from the UK. Remember, that's where the program started. And she's been very successful with the Caribbean and West and African population in Manchester. We have Dr. Atieno Jalango, who's a diabetes care specialist, talking about various You know, I think she's very knowledgeable in the field of diabetes, so you stand to benefit. Of course, we saw Mildred, she told us about the money, but that's not all she talks about. She is a professional in the field as well. Glucose monitoring, Stacey talked about it, so Yvonne Carrier will be here to talk to us about that. Dr. Evans Asmani is our guest nutritionist from the UK, specialist in sleep matters sleep. So he helps us know the 6 hours is a no-no. That's why we scored so little. So be there and benefit from this panel of experts. It will be nice to hear what they have to say. Any questions before we close?
Any burning questions? Or any comments?
Comment, any questions? Going one. Going two.
I've seen some comments in the chat.
Okay, I can read them. Oh, okay.
I've seen one
Okay.
from Professor Wasuna. Professor Monique Wasuna was one of my mentors. She said, excellent presentations. I have learned a lot. A lot of people say, thank you for this wonderful presentation. Stacey wants to rejoin DTLC, but Stacey, we are going to give you 12 weeks to continue with your lifestyle, and then you come back in DTLC number 7. Yes, but we are here to support you. There's a hand up. I think
Yeah,
Charles and Joki have a question. Thank you. Go ahead, Charles or Joki.
Hi, it's not quite a serious question, but I saw as we were joining the meeting, I saw a Mark Joshi join, and then I think he left. So I was wondering whether that is Professor Mark Joshi and that he is one of the panelists.
Yes, Professor Mark Joshi is not a panelist, but he is a doctor we work with. He refers all his patients to DTLC. He has benefited from DTLC. He's a happy doctor who supports all of us. Yes. Good
Another
question.
serious.
I'm even glad to know he joined. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Jenna,
My question is, what about those who do not use PayPal?
Yes, we will provide account details. So you have our emails, you have our telephone number. We will talk with you. Once you register, we had shared a link for registration. We will share with you account details, and you can put it in the account. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. Is there somebody else? I can't see the hand.
Yes.
Jane Odewale.
Okay, Jane Odewale.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that I did TLC 2, I think it was, and I'm so sorry that I joined late. I had issues. I wanted to say that the team is very, very helpful. Dr. Juang is too, exactly what she's saying. She's very helpful at whatever time, even when you cheat. She'll always have a nice word to say. The other thing that I wanted to say, it's how useful it's been, not just for me, but for the entire family. I think my husband especially, I mean, he does so well. I'm so jealous. He does very, very well. He didn't do the course. He learns from me, but he does better than I do. And when you do the course, even when you cheat, you still understand food, you understand your body, you understand the reaction. So it's very easy to get back. So even like in December, we all cheated. But because you understand and you have the knowledge, you're always able to get back. And even after you do the course, it doesn't mean that Dr. Ojong doesn't support you. She still does. So you still can call her at any time and she'll still have a nice word to say. And like I say again, even when you cheat, she still will have a nice word to say. I've managed to keep my weight down. It's not to the point where I'd like it to be, but my clothes fit and I feel good about myself. And there are days I do well and there are days I don't do well. But let me tell you, once you know what the truth is about your food and your body and the relationship, it's always something that you draw back to. And it's knowledge that you share with not just yourself, but you share with your friends, your family. I share it with my grandchildren. So it's knowledge that's here, and it's knowledge that when you share, you know you're speaking the truth. And thank you, Dr. Joan.
Thank you, and I'll thank the team too. Thank you for your comments, Asante Sana. Yes.
So we hope we have handled all the burning issues and any comments that anybody else may have.
Yeah, I hope so.
So thank you. Thank you everybody for making time to be with us, for hanging out with us. Think about the investment. Come again next week. It will be so nice to learn new things. And we want to be like Jen Odewale. We know we may cheat, we may be, because we're human. Once in a while we fail, but you generally get tools to assess successful lifestyle change. So thank you, Patty. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to being with you next week. And do have a good night. Put into practice what you've learned. Remember to breathe. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
We see claps. Thank you, especially those who shared their programs. I was told it was difficult for people to join the program. So I'm really sorry. I was just learning that some people were having a hard time joining it. And I don't know. It's just one of these things that happen unexpectedly. So
Good night.
good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Andy Wanga, I hope you're joining. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been around.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
We're waiting
I
for all
actually
of you to
enjoyed the
leave.
program very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Sharon,
you.
from jw.org.
Yes, that unfortunately that didn't come out. But
No.
I think one thing I learned, I scored mostly 0, but the toxic habit was the sleep.
Mm.
And today I had promised myself I was going to sleep for 8 hours. I didn't. I think I might sleep later. But it's a good start.
A good start. Yes,
Sleep,
it's a good start.
sleep is a big problem for me.
Okay.
Toxic.
Yes,
Toxic
but
habits.
once I sleep well. But I think I stay late. With errands. But I think I should just stop.
Yes, you'll see what to do. Join the program. We'll teach you how.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't stop recording. Ha ha ha.